Hey there! Welcome to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and thanks for tuning in this Wednesday evening. Today we have a pretty heavy subject to talk about, and that's human trafficking. We've pulled together some facts about it just to kind of fill you all in. It's an over $32 billion industry per year, and over 27 million people are being trafficked or have been trafficked. And studies conducted say 50% of all trafficked have been children, while 80% are women. And over 160 countries have had it, including right here in America. In the United States, 100,000 to 300,000 underage girls have been sold in the USA, and there are currently over 244 children at risk in America. Today we'll have three separate people coming on to help talk about this thing and how it can be stopped in our own community. Once again, you are tuned in to Hear Me Roar here on MSU TV, broadcasted live from Breckenridge Hall. Stay tuned, there's more after this break.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna...
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play.
I love the campus!
And all its sights and sounds.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity. I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and today we have Michael and Emily from the Student Association of Human Trafficking. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Tell me about your organization. What does it do?
Our Student Association of Human Trafficking, basically we try to raise awareness of trafficking, whether it's labor trafficking, sex trafficking, or organ trafficking, and we just try to raise awareness about it so people know how big of a social issue it is and how they can become aware of it and it basically decrease in our society.
Now, these problems arise right here in Moorhead, right?
Correct.
And surrounding communities. How do you guys go around trying to diminish that?
We have these chapsticks that we can use to do that, and we really try to get the student body involved with this, and we try to raise awareness for them, and because then they go and they can tell their family members and stuff like that, and then we also engage the community in this, and we invite them to our events, and we raise awareness for it.
How can a student get involved with your organization?
Well, we have meetings. Sometimes we post flyers up around campus, and we have events, or we just had one, I think it was last week, where we showed a video about labor trafficking, and we had flyers up, and everyone's welcome, and yeah.
Now, with your chapsticks, have you guys seen results from them?
Yeah, actually there's a group in Lexington that's been doing it for probably over a year now, and since they've been doing the chapstick outreach program, there's been like a 200% increase in calls to the hotline, but they can't tie it directly to the chapstick program, but we like to think that it's from the chapsticks.
So now you don't have these just to hand out to people, you kind of leave them for them to find. How do you guys go about that and deciding where to place these?
Basically what we do is with the national hotline, we get an area around here where there's been known problem areas. There are several here in Moorhead and Mount Sterling and Lexington, and we just go up to the owners of the place and say, there's been some areas of concern of human trafficking, sex trafficking, and we have these chapsticks here. Can we leave them in the restroom in case someone's been sex trafficked? They can go in there anonymously if they have to go to the bathroom or something, or just an excuse they can find these and get the hotline off them and actually get help instead of just suffering through this.
Very cool. So you are tuned in to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and today we have Michael and Emily from the Student Association of Human Trafficking. We're going to cut to a break, but when we come back, we'll have more about this interview and more about the issue that's kind of in our community that we didn't expect to be there. Thanks, and we'll see you after the break. Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and today we have Michael and Emily from the Student Association of Human Trafficking. Now, what are some upcoming events for your organization?
Usually in the spring each year, we have a speaker come to us that's going to be talking to either a victim of sex trafficking or a very well-known person that works with them. Last year we had a woman come from Louisville that talked to us, and we had an event here in Breck, and we had over about 125 members, just students from the university here, come and listen in, and they enjoyed it. We're having another guest speaker come from the Washington, D.C., Virginia area that's going to come down here and actually have a big event here, and she's actually going to come talk to the whole university as well. So that's one of our bigger events that we're going to be having this spring.
Very cool. And now, citizens in Rowan County and surrounding areas, what are some signs they should look out for if they suspect human trafficking happening?
All right, well, there's two different kinds that are like prevalent in like Moorhead, and one of them is like labor trafficking. And for that, that's really big on like the farms, because you get like, like Mexicans that maybe don't have like, green cards or something, or like illegal immigrants and stuff. And the person that owns them can kind of hold them there and be like, if you run away from me, you are going to get turned into the law and stuff. So one way that you can like identify that is if there's like, a farm that doesn't, like the workers don't ever leave. That's one of the big ones. Like, yeah, they can live there and like they can get paid fair wages and stuff, but sometimes they don't. And if they get shuttled off the farm, like say to go to the laundromat or something like that, they always have a person with them. And for sex trafficking, it's mostly with girls. And so you can kind of like be suspicious if there's like a big van with like a bunch of younger girls and they have like one or two males with them, and they're just like, kind of like shuttle around all sketchy and stuff like that, going to like really weird places. And
This almost sounds like slavery.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're being forced to do stuff against their will.
Now, do you guys know if in our area, if it's members of the community that are being trafficked, or if people are sort of being smuggled in?
A lot of them are smuggled in. They kind of, like when they get picked up by the pimp, they kind of get moved around to big events. Like in Keeneland, that's a big thing. If you look on like Backpage.com, I think, and like Craigslist, you can see ads, and like they increase the more like a big event there is.
That's very scary. This is
Yeah.
happening right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, you're tuned in to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and we've had Michael and Emily here with us from the Student Association of Human Trafficking. That's our theme for our final show this semester. Stay tuned. We'll be covering more about this topic right after this break.
Hello, I'm Eric Thomas, Director of the Star Theater here at Moorhead State University, and I'd like to invite you to come out and join us for some of the great programs we offer in the Star Theater. Our programs are both educational, with planetarium programs, and entertaining, with laser shows that feature artists such as Elton John all the way out to Metallica. So come join us at the Star Theater, located in the Space Science Center here on the campus of Moorhead State University. And if you've got questions, go online to moorheadstate.edu/startheater.
Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and for our final show of this semester, we'll be talking about human trafficking. Up next, we have a pre-recorded segment about a woman named Lonnie. She's an MSU student, and she recently traveled to the Philippines to help fight this issue. Stay tuned for more.
The more light brought upon this topic, the more people that know about it, it's important. Even if you're just telling a friend, about this problem, that's another person that knows about it. That's another person that has the potential to make a difference and do something and take action. Hi, I'm Lonnie Tecco. I attend Moorhead State University. I'm a social work student in my third year, and I am passionate about the sex industry, sex trafficking, and bringing justice to the victims that it affects. Sex trafficking in America is it does not have enough awareness at this point in our history. There are millions of victims all around the world who are suffering and who are not brought any awareness and who are struggling each day. And it would be shocking to know that sex trafficking is right in your backyard. Well, sex trafficking in Kentucky is very prevalent. There's a strong relationship between the drug industry and the sex industry in Kentucky. It's one of the strongest connections in Kentucky regarding the topic. A lot of times women, young girls will go in search of drugs. They'll find these drugs, and then their pimps will in turn make them prostitute themselves for future drugs. Additional to that would be the strip clubs, the sex clubs, the, downtown Lexington, all of those things that you think are, pleasurable for entertainment, go out with your friends, if you do that, it's more than that. There is a background to it that you don't see. There are sex rings that go on within the walls of those clubs that are allowed to be run. It's devastating, and the victims don't have any power because not only are they held in bondage by the pimps, they're held in bondage by society who goes to see them, who pays to see them. And it's unfortunate because it's acceptable and it shouldn't be. It's tearing apart our country. Well, fortunate for Kentucky, it's been several years since they opened, but we do have a program. It's a nonprofit organization. It's called the Refuge for Women. It's actually one of the only of its kind in Kentucky that reaches out to girls in the sex industry. Of course, there are other programs that strive to reach out to the girls, but it's unique in that there's 3 phases and there's 3 houses. So after doing my volunteer practicum hours with the Phase 2 Refuge House, it really broke my heart, and I wanted to do something more. So I applied for a trip to go to the Philippines and go to the red light district and reach out to girls who were in the sex industry in the Philippines. The trip was very special, not only because we were able to reach out to these girls. The first few nights we would go into the bars and we would, it was faith-based, so we would minister to them, love on them, and tell them that there was a way out. They didn't have to be stuck in that. And the organization I went through was called Wipe Every Tear, and after the first few nights of bar outreach, we simply told the girls to meet us on that following Tuesday, I think it was, after the weekend of outreach. And those of them who wanted to come would meet us at a church in Angeles City in the Philippines. So about 37 girls showed up, and we took them on a girls' getaway. And we just went to an island called Puerto Galero, and we gave them a vacation, and we showed them that they could trust us and that we could love on them. And after the getaway, we had a dinner with them, and we invited them to come to the safe houses, which it's very similar to the refuge in that they had safe houses for the girls. And they could choose to come. Not all of them came, but some of them did. Though 37 doesn't seem like a huge number, that's 37 girls who aren't in the sex industry anymore. That's 37 girls who aren't being forced to have sex. That's 37 girls who aren't standing in cages, naked, vulnerable, with a laser pointing at them to be called down for a man to buy them for the night. And that's a difference that is important. And the more awareness that is brought on this subject and topic, the more girls that are going to be freed. And it is slavery. It's modern day slavery. And my hope is that one day it will be, these girls will be brought justice and freedom, and this topic wouldn't be pushed under the rug like it's not a big deal, because it is. It's a huge deal. And these girls' lives matter, and they deserve justice. They deserve freedom. They deserve a life of living out of the bondage that they are in.
Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and you're tuned in for our last episode of the season, and we've been talking about human trafficking. You just saw a pre-recorded segment about Lonnie, who went to the Philippines to help fight this social issue. If you would like to learn more information or maybe become a part of it, you can check out refugeforwomen.org. Stay tuned. After this break, we'll have more on this touchy subject here on MSU TV's Hear Me Roar.
Yo, why are you looking at bags, bro? What you need is a chick magnet. You put me in the room and boom, chicks. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and today we have Sarah on the show with us to talk about a student organization, or committee rather, that helps raise money to fight against human trafficking. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thank you.
So now you're part of the Aruna community.
Yep.
Or committee.
Committee.
What is Aruna?
Aruna is it's a project, and its sole basis is to just go into South Asian countries and help women out of human trafficking.
How did you get involved with this?
I got involved with this because I was involved in our campus ministry called Crew, and Crew's been doing this run for about 2 years now. And I did it my freshman year and my sophomore year, and so I've just really gotten a passion for it because I've heard about all the stories of the women that we've been able to help.
So now, is Aruna simply just a run to raise money?
Aruna, the run is to raise money. But Aruna Project itself, like the money that we raise through our runs gets sent to the people who are actually in the South Asian countries who are like trying to help the women out of the sex trade, because it's not easy for them to leave themselves, and so they do what they can to try to help people like out of it, and through that they're able to like provide them with clothing, food, health care, just different things, and they actually employ them afterward. And so it really helps them out of these terrible situations and something that can bring them to a brighter future.
Now, the past runs and the run coming up, what can you tell me about those?
In the past, I think our first run we raised about $2,000 for the cause, and then last year we raised somewhere around $1,000. But those events weren't really publicized very well, because with any event you kind of get off to a rough start. But this year we're really hoping to get both the campus and the community really involved in it, so we can get as many people participating so that we can raise as much as we can for this organization.
And now when the money goes to help these women, are you able to kind of learn about how they were helped, or is it kind of you just have to believe it on a...
They do send us some information about it. We've heard stories about different women that we've been able to help, but because of its high security, they're not really allowed to tell us names or specific things about what they're doing over there. But we do get some general information. I think they said 15 women were freed between our last run that we did and now. So
very cool. You're tuned in to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan, and we're here with Sarah today. We'll be cutting to a break, but when we come back, there'll be more about Aruna and how you can help. Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and today we're here with Sarah discussing the heavy topic of human trafficking. Sarah is part of the Aruna committee that has a run to raise money to help get women out of southern China, or Asia. Why is South Asia such a problematic problem or place for this?
South Asia is really has such a big problem with human trafficking because women are just seen as very invaluable, because there's a lot more men in those countries than there are women, and so they're seen as just being expendable. And so it's not just sexual slavery that they're faced with either. There's a ton of violence against women. Women are being beaten and killed just for being women. There's been cases where young girls have been gang raped, and then they've been murdered and hung on trees because they just don't care. And it's a really heavy topic, but women are just not valued at all in that culture. And so there's nothing really anybody's doing for it either. Even politicians, there was one politician from that country who was quoted as saying, for rape, it's sometimes okay, sometimes not. So it's a huge problem in that area. Over 15,000 women and young girls are being trafficked.
And then the money you raise from the run goes to help getting these women out of those.
It helps, yeah. What they do is they go in, and as soon as they can help someone get out of it, the money goes toward providing them like medical care, counseling, food, clothing, just anything they can do to help. And then they're also employing them now. So the women are actually making, they make T-shirts, bags, just different things. And at the run, we actually get to give away some of the things that they've made. So it's kind of like a give and take for it.
How does it feel to be able to know that you're helping get these women out of here?
It feels awesome to be able to know that I can make a difference in their lives, because I mean, they don't have the ability to fight for their own freedom. And so that's what we do. Our run is to run for their freedom.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You heard it here. You're tuned into MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. We're recorded live from Breckenridge Hall at Morehead State University. Stay tuned, there's more to come right after this break. Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and our last show this semester has featured the heavy topic of human trafficking. We're coming to a close for our show, and we're going to take a little lighter note. There's one MSU art and computer science major student that's putting her passion towards a career in designing these wonderful looking little display CDs. Stay tuned, we'll have the whole segment coming up next here on MSU TV's Hear Me Roar.
I moved a lot within the past 7 years. I've lived in 4 different cities. So art was something that I was able to take with me wherever I go. And it's just something great. My name is Lin Huang. I'm a first-year student here at Morehead State University. I'm majoring in computer science and art, and probably minoring in math. And I'm originally from Taiwan, and I graduated high school from Utah. Both my parents actually graduated from Morehead, so it was one of my options, and I got the honor scholarship offer here, so it's a full ride, and my parents were okay with flying for me to fly halfway across the country to come here. It was for one of my friend's birthday. We had like an inside joke, so his name has a CD emoji in my contact on my phone, and I wanted to I wanted to do something for his birthday, so I painted a CD for him. And then I posted it on one of my social media sites, and a lot of my friends were like, oh, I want some of them. I started taking requests, and within 1 week, I reached over 100 requests. So over the summer, this past summer, I basically, for like 1 month, I have been painting nonstop. And I think I finished 150 CDs at this point. So I try to do it within a week after I get the requests. And then I keep them updated on how I'm doing, and then I send them pictures of updates to make sure like I'm working on it and stuff. And after I'm done, I mail it, and then that's when they do the payment. And then I also usually ask them to take a picture whenever they hang it up when they receive the final products to see how they're like decorating it in their dorm or in their room. For now, it's just like, because I do really love painting, so it's kind of like a side job I'm doing, like freelancing that I've picked up. But it would be really cool if it gets bigger, but I don't think it will, at least like within the next couple of years, because school. I question my major basically every single day, why I am an art major. But then whenever I get back to drawing or painting, I realize it's just a feeling of tranquility you get while you do art that really motivates me to keep doing what I do.
You're tuned in to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. I'm Jordan Simonson, and you just watched a pre-produced segment about Lynn, a art and computer science major who's been painting CDs and selling them. If you're interested in buying one of these, you can contact her at lxhong@msu.edu, Morehead State University.edu. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll have the close of our last semester show right here on MSU TV. Welcome back to MSU TV's Hear Me Roar. Well, this is the end of our last show for this semester. It's been a blast hosting this for you, and I'm really excited to come back in January to do it all again. I'd really like to thank all of our guests for coming, Michael and Emily from the Student Association of Human Trafficking, and Sarah, who is part of the Aruna Committee, who will be having a run next semester to help raise money to get women in the human trafficking trade out of South Asia. I'd like to thank our team, our crew, our producers for being able to put on such a stellar show for you every single month. And once again, I'm really excited to see you all again in January. This has been MSU TV's Hear Me Roar, broadcasted live from the studios in Breckenridge Hall at Morehead State University. I'm Jordan Simonson, and it's been a pleasure talking to you all these times. Have a happy holidays and stay safe if you're traveling. Good night.